Hi everyone, I am here to demonstrate how to create a visual pattern which will help us find the number of reported cases for each outcome of a certain drug given a certain age group. Next, I'm going to give this visual pattern a name. I'm going to give it the name number of reported outcomes for a drug. Next, I'm going to add a description. Given a certain age group, find the number of reported cases for each outcome of a certain drug. So the next step would be to analyze the schema. So here's our schema. As you can see, we have the reported case vertex, the has outcomes edge, the outcome vertex, the has patient edge, the patient vertex, the has sequences edge, the drug sequence vertex, the has drugs edge, the drug vertex, and each reported case can only have a single patient associated with it, and each patient has an age attribute which we can use to specify the age group later. And each reported case can be associated with one or more outcomes, and each outcome has an outcome code attribute which we can use to identify the specific outcome. Each reported case can be associated with one or more drug sequence, and each drug sequence is only associated with a single drug. So these are the vertices and edges that we need in our visual pattern. Next, I'm going to start picking the vertices and edges that I believe we need in our visual pattern that I mentioned before. So first, I'm going to pick the reported case and outcomes vertices and edges. Then I'm going to pick the reported case and patient vertices and edges. Then I'm going to merge the reported case vertex pattern together. Next, I'm going to pick the reported case and drug sequence vertices and edges and merge the reported case vertex patterns together. I'm going to pick the drugs and drug sequence vertices and edges and merge the drug sequence vertex pattern together. Next, I'm going to add a parameter to this visual pattern. I'm going to give this parameter the name drug name. I'm going to use it to specify the specific drug I'm interested in. And then next, I'm going to add a filter to the patient. I'm going to use the end condition. And for the first condition, I'm going to use the less than or equals to condition. And for the first expression, I'm going to use the integer parameter. I'm going to give this the name lower age limit to specify the lower age limit of the age group that we'll be interested in. For the second expression, I'm going to use the age attribute of the patient vertex. And for the second condition, I'm going to use the less than or equals to condition again. For the first expression, I'm going to use the patient vertex attribute age. And for the second expression, I'm going to use another integer parameter. I'm going to name this integer parameter the upper age limit. going to use this to specify the upper age limit of the age group I'm interested in. So here we can filter the patient vertex or the pattern based on a specified age group. Next, I'm going to name the reported case vertex pattern RC. And then I'm going to add an aggregation function to the outcome vertex pattern. I'm going to give it the aggregation function count distinct. I'm going to find and count the distinct number of reported cases RC. And I'm going to give this aggregation function a result the name number of reported cases. Next, I'm going to set the outcome vertex pattern as the output, then save this visual pattern. So what this visual pattern does is that it finds all the outcomes associated with all the reported cases of a certain drug, where the patients are receiving the drug are between the lower age limit and upper age limit age group. Then it counts the number of distinct reported cases RC associated with each outcome. Next, I'm going to run this visual pattern. For the drug name, I'm going to use Lipitor. And the lower age limit I'm going to specify is 20. For the upper age limit, I'm going to use 40. I'm going to run this pattern. And here we have our output, and this output basically shows all the outcomes that people between the age of, or some patients between the age of 20 to 40 have reportedly experienced after receiving the drug Lipitor. And so as you can see, the number of reported cases where people have died after receiving Lipitor is 3. The number of reported cases where people have experienced disability after receiving Lipitor is 6. Hospitalizations is 21, and life-threatening is 4, and others is 41.